After concussion, we wait for the balance of our ions in the body and the electrolytes, sodium ions. For philosophies dwells in the unknown, same as I am. Today we are seeking about sexuality. Na checking watu straight wanavanga black and white. And the people of pride wanavaa zile colors nyingi nyingi. Lakini sasa shida ni nini? Shida tu ni moja. Being bullied inafanya unakuwa na pride. You're not proud. You're sad. Sasa tunawachomea ni ukweli. They're sad. And that's why they said we need pride. Lakini hawajui pride comes after fall. Pride comes after fall. Pride comes before fall. Kilami alinitoka kiasi. Nimesikia kuna waseko wanasema story ni na metrosexuality, story na fluidity, kwa fluid. Something of sorts. But leo acha tuzingatie autosexuality. What is autosexuality? Is when a person is primarily sexually attracted to themselves. It can include being aroused by one's own body, thoughts, or self-image, and in some cases, preferring solo sex or masturbation over sexual interaction with others. It's different from narcissism. Autosexuality is a sexual orientation or preferences, not necessarily a personality disorder or excessive self-love. What can make someone autosexual? There isn't a single cause, but several psychological, biological, and social factors can contribute. Innate sexual orientation. Some people may naturally become autosexual, just as some people are heterosexual, homosexual, or asexual. It's simply the way their sexuality is wired. Positive self-image or body fascination. A person who finds their own body extremely attractive might be turned on by seeing themselves nude, touching themselves, or even fantasizing about themselves. This doesn't have to come from arrogance. It could come from a deep sensual appreciation of one's own form. Desire for control. Solo sex provides complete control. No need to navigate another person's desires, feelings, or boundaries. This appeals to people who value independence, may have a negative sexual experience with others, have anxiety around intimacy. Trauma or boundary violation. Some autosexual people have a history of sexual trauma or toxic relationship. They might turn inwards as a safe way to explore pleasure without fear, guilt, or harm. Neurodivergence. People on the autism spectrum or with other neurodivergent traits may prefer autosexuality because it avoids overstimulations or confusion caused by partner sex. It allows predictability, focus, sensory experience. Exploration of gender or identity. Some trans or non-binary people become autosexual during periods of transitions or self-discovery. They may be turned on by a version of themselves they're becoming. Kama you say trans, acha nieleze trans. Trans are the people who were identified as males. Kama for example, they were identified as males when they were born, but in growing up after reaching the secondary transformation, they start producing the female hormones, so they start growing hips and breasts. Those are the kind of the trans. So by at the look of the physicality, after the transformation, you will think they are females, but under stripping them, they are males. Those are trans, and they are born naturally. The idealized image, how their gender presentation feels and look. Authentic self attraction, autochronic sexuality. Some people are aroused by the idea of sex or eroticism, but not with others. Instead, they are aroused by erotic image of themselves or fantasy version of themselves detached from any external person. Spiritual or mystical sexuality. In some cultures and spiritual paths like tantras or some mystic philosophies, loving oneself physically and sexually is seen as a form of divine union or enlightenment, a way to explore sacred sexuality or inner harmony. Take this note: autosexuality is valid and real. It doesn't mean someone is incapable of loving others or being in relationship, though some are autoromantic, meaning they're also romantically prefer themselves. Many autosexual people are also capable of enjoying sex with others. They just prefer no or more aroused by themselves. This is the fundamental tunakaa hivi ndani. And this was the clarification. For philosophy dwells in the unknown, same as I am.